Hand expression versus pumping. It's a comparison you're probably trying to make quickly because your breasts are full, your baby is unpredictable, and you're looking for the most efficient, effective way to manage your feeding rhythm. And if you're like many of the moms I work with, high functioning, used to planning, used to solving problems, you've probably already researched the best pump, maybe even sterilized all the parts, but no one really explained when to use it, or that hand expression might actually work better, especially in those early chaotic days. This video will help you understand how these two tools serve different purposes and how to use both of them without sabotaging your supply, overcomplicating your routine, or feeling like you've failed for needing one over the other. There's a moment in nearly every mom's experience where she sets up her pump expecting it to solve something. Supply concerns, fullness, maybe even anxiety. And then it pulls and pulls and almost nothing comes out. If your baby is just a few days old and your body is still producing colostrum, that pump is not broken. It's just not the right tool yet. Colostrum is thick, sticky, and produced in very small volumes, and it responds far better to the warmth, pressure, and gentle rhythm of hand expression than to mechanical suction. Pumps aren't great at extracting colostrum. Your hands are. Hand expression during those first 48 to 72 hours isn't just more effective. It also helps you feel more in tune with your body at a time when everything else might feel unpredictable. It's not about skipping the pump. It's about respecting the phase that you're in. Start with what your body is ready for. Now, once your milk supply transitions, usually around day 3 to 5, your milk production starts to increase. You may begin to feel heavier, fuller, more swollen, and more aware of letdowns. This is when the pump can really shine, especially if you're returning to work, separated from your baby for any reason, or planning to build a freezer stash. Pumps are ideal for structured output, such as scheduled sessions, consistent volume, or timed relief. And especially for moms managing NICU care or supplementing, it can be a critical piece of feeding success. But what I often see is moms using the pump to solve everything: oversupply, clogged ducts, even emotional distress. And that kind of over-reliance can cause problems, especially if you're draining your breast completely every time and unintentionally ramping up supply beyond what your baby needs. Okay, here's a pro tip. Use the pump when the goal is volume or routine. Don't let it become your default when your body actually needs something more gentle. There are moments in postpartum when even the best pump feels like too much. When your nipples are sore, your baby suddenly sleeps longer, or you're engorged and exhausted, and the idea of assembling parts and sitting still for 20 minutes feels like a chore. That's when hand expression becomes your most reliable and compassionate option. I use it with moms who need to relieve pressure without overstimulating. I teach it when there's nipple trauma, oversupply, or uneven fullness. It also works beautifully at night when you're trying not to wake your baby up or your partner and just want to release a little milk so you can sleep comfortably. Clinically, we know that pairing hand expression with warmth and massage enhances oxytocin release. This means improved milk flow, enhanced emotional regulation, and better long-term breastfeeding outcomes. Another pro tip: you don't have to fully drain your breasts to feel better. Sometimes just softening one side is exactly what your body needs. If you're finding that your physical routines are bumping up against emotional overload, you're not imagining that. Your body and your brain are in recovery together. Download my free mental wellness workbook. It's a calm, practical way to sort through the mental weight of this stage without judgment or overwhelm. The link is right below. This is not a competition. Hand expression and pumping aren't opposing choices. In fact, many of the most effective feeding routines that help moms create include both. Use strategically based on what your body needs in that moment. Let's say your pump session ends, but one area of your breast still feels firm. Hand expression allows you to complete the job without increasing overall stimulation. Or maybe you're having trouble with letdown. Starting with warm compresses and hand expression before using the pump can prime the ducts, making your session more efficient. You can also alternate based on your schedule. Pump in the morning when you need to multitask, hand express at night when you want something quiet and less disruptive. Flexibility is a skill, and it's a powerful one, especially when you stop expecting one tool to solve every other problem that you have. Okay, let's move on. Sometimes moms ask me, which one is better? But that question misses the point completely. Instead, the right question to ask is, what am I trying to accomplish right now? If the answer is comfort, well, it could be a hand expression. If it's output, pumping might make sense. If it's convenience, gentleness, or even reconnecting with your body, those are all valid reasons to choose one over the other. What matters most is that you understand your options and choose based on intention, not fear or pressure. You don't have to get locked into one method. You're allowed to change based on the hour, the day, or the period that you are in. There's a lot of advice out there about breastfeeding, but very little of it accounts for what high-functioning, thoughtful moms like you actually need. Options, clarity, and a rhythm that respects both your goals and your body. This isn't about picking the right method and sticking to it perfectly. It's about knowing when to pivot, when to pause, and when to reach for the tool that makes the most sense for right now. You're not doing this wrong because your method changes. You're doing it well because you're learning to respond instead of react. If you're figuring out when to pump or hand express, your partner can play a key role in making that process smoother. Watch this video next as I share simple ways to support your feeding routine and protect your recovery at the same time. When you're used to efficiency, ambiguity can feel like failure. However, the truth is that recovery and feeding doesn't always progress in a straight line. Subscribe if you want support that acknowledges and respects that reality. And if you're ready for deeper support and a comprehensive recovery framework tailored to your real life, you'll find more details right below. I'm Cherry, and I will see you in the next one.